On this episode,
Visitors after dark? I do not like visitors anyway, but after dark?
that was a shocker the other night. Hey, what about these gas prices? We talk about gas prices a little bit. Hey, shoot us a text. Let us know where you listen from and how much you're spending on gas. What else, Amanda?
Charges they put on your card just to use your debit card.
The pet groomer is killing us.
Yeah.
Absolutely killing us with these charges.
They're not the only ones.
I know. But we talk about it. You need to listen.
On this episode.
Chuck Norris doesn't flush the toilet. He scares the crap out of it. Welcome back, everyone. Episode 64. Happy Friday. It's
These
not
are
a
as
Thursday.
bad as dad jokes.
It's not a Thursday. We weren't able to release it on Thursday, so we're releasing on a Friday. So
But we're recording on
happy
Thursday.
Friday to you. That's right. That's our saying. We have
Happy
to.
Friday.
If we were recording on a Friday and releasing on a Friday, that'd be rough.
Would it?
Yeah. I release it. It comes out at 2 a.m. That's when it releases. Whatever day. Mondays and Thursdays, it's 2 a.m. those days. It'll be Friday this time. So, yeah, I just followed it. You said you wanted a Chuck Norris meme every episode from now on, since we lost him a week or two ago. So there it was. Was that
There it
good? I
was.
like that one.
That was good.
Let's talk about gas prices
Felt
for a
like
second.
dad jokes.
What do you think about gas prices? What's happening?
I don't know what's happening.
How high has it gone up? What was it originally about
Well,
4 weeks ago? Was it
Considering my car's been broke down for 2 weeks, I ain't got gas, so I don't know what it is.
true? That's true. We having transmission issues with your car, so it's kind of sat there, kind of been in limbo.
I'm just car hopping.
Let's talk about this. I'm thinking about getting in the towing business
Oh, yes.
because it is like highway robbery, and there's nothing you can do. I guarantee.
We didn't go 2 miles down the road.
Let me go
3 miles, maybe. No.
This is getting off the subject, but kind of on the subject. We had our septic tank. Look, trust me, I'm coming back around. We had our septic tank cleaned out one time, and I don't remember how much it was at that time, but the guy that did it, $350.
I think so.
The guy that did it admitted that he got with the other company, the only two, I guess, that's in around this area or whatever like that, and they've both set the same price. That way, one's not better than the other, so there's nothing you can do. My point being is, I feel that's the same way it is on this towing, on these
yeah,
wrecker
totally.
services.
I think so.
Yeah, so, if they wanted to increase it $50 or whatever. So we paid $156.25 to go 200 yards,
Yeah.
if not a little less than 200 yards.
And if we can't find somebody to tow it now, we're going to pay it again
We
to
were
get it to the...
Yeah, we were just towing it to get it out of the predicament it was in until we could figure out what was going on. If we'd had more time and all that, we could have, made different arrangements. But now that we know a little bit more,
What route we're going to go, maybe.
yeah. So that's that.
That was that.
Yeah. So,
Nobody stopped to ask me if I needed help.
I know, ain't that crazy?
But that's okay.
But the funny thing is that we found out afterwards. They were like, "I saw you on the side of the road. I didn't know what was happening. What was
Yeah.
going on?" I was like, "Well,
Well,
didn't turn around and find out, did you?"
no.
Which is fine. Yeah, it wasn't no
Which
biggie.
is fine. I think I'm okay people not stopping because you never know today
Yeah.
what kind of person's going to stop.
And you had a guy come out of his house.
I did have a guy come out of the
house.
house and ask me, and
Yeah.
he said he just wanted to make sure. So that was good.
And I was only 15 minutes, 20 minutes away,
Yeah.
possibly.
Yeah,
it
so
wasn't-
I think if it had been at nighttime, I think my nerves and my anxiety would have been worse.
Yeah.
But it was daytime. I knew you were headed that way,
Well, the thing about it was your car.
and I knew I could get somebody there faster if I needed it.
Well, we weren't putting you in a predicament anyway because your
No,
car
we
had
were
been
only-
acting up a little bit.
Yeah.
And so we knew, like, well, you don't need to go too far and everything. We just weren't really
Yeah.
expecting it to, bam, happen like that. But who is, when your car breaks down?
Yeah.
But my goodness, if it is what it is, whew, we need some advertisement. If you want to advertise on this podcast,
Sponsor.
yeah, email me at jrattler33 at yahoo.com.
Heck yeah. I'll put a big old sticker
Yeah.
on the car.
Yeah, my PayPal account is blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but back to gas prices. I think it
Anyway.
was it $2.69 4 weeks ago? It was something like that, right? It
Maybe.
was, yeah. And now it's $3.38 as of this morning, and I saw it in another county. It was $3.78, so that's the highest I've seen it. And this is Central Alabama for those of you that's listening. So that's our prices. So I mean, you go to California, it's probably $5.78. Something like $2 or $3 more. But theirs is all tax. Their gas prices are so high because the majority of it is tax.
Really?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, plus cost of living and all that. But yeah, there's a big old chunk of it that's.
So why
that's
are we
taxed.
raising gas prices?
Well, it's all about I blame it on speculators. They're trying to predict the future. They're trying to decide, hey, what's the supply, demand going to be? Hey, what's going to be going on, a week from now, a month from now, whatever. But since we've got this so-called war going on, who knows?
But how? I don't understand how they go out there and raise the gas prices, but not gotten new gas.
Yes, I know.
You've
So
same
this
gas
is-
that's been in your tanks since your last one, but we see that you raise your prices and you hadn't got
Yeah.
another round of gas yet,
Yeah, that's because their neighbor does it across the road.
and we know that.
They all do it, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's another thing you can't get away from. So, an old man told me one time that owned a gas station. He said, back in the day, he said we changed gas prices once a month. He said so when it changed, it was locked in for a month. That's what you pay, So he had his price that he was paying when his truck came. It was locked in for that month. It wouldn't pay any less, wouldn't pay any more. And so now it's in knowing people, and we've had a family member that owned a gas station. And so when they get their delivery, they're paying a certain amount for what's going in the ground, what's going in that tank in the ground. And so you adjust your prices for that. And that's the way it should be. It shouldn't be, now we've got word of whatever, so now we're going to raise the price, 25 cents the next morning. Well, you still paid that lower price of what's in the ground. So, yeah, you're really gypping us. That's all you're doing. We're getting gypped. Gypped. But, yeah, we're relying on speculators. And it's all the supply-demand thing, and to me, it's a bunch of hogwash. Because we've always got a supply and we've always got a demand. It's just we're dependent on OPEC and all these other companies. Like, if they're producing too much, you know what happens when you produce too much of something? The price goes down. So what do? You stop producing it, right? You lower it, so then that keeps the price at a stagnant level, so it's not dropping. Because it's all about the old Benjamin, or the Franklin, or the Washington, or whatever dollar bill or change you want to call it. So you've already got me on it. That's what I'm saying.
I know. I'm trying to get you off of it. I'm trying to make faces at you.
I know, I saw that, but you just get me more riled up. But that's what I'm saying. So you got a company that's like, our prices are too low, or we're not going to come in and hit our, projected sales quarter or whatever, and they slow down production. So to get that price right where they need it to be. They're always going to make money. You got big oil, you got big pharma, and apparently you got big tire, because tires are out of control too. Prices of tires. Oh, and big transmission, and big wrecker services. Yeah.
And the dog groomer.
And the dog.
You wanna talk about the dog groomer?
Look, we just went to get No, our dog Winston needed a trim. Me and him try and go. If they would cut hair, I would go see if we could get our haircut at the same time. I'd go to the groomer and get my haircut.
I sent a message for your haircut, but I ain't heard nothing back.
Because I need one.
I need one.
So he went this evening and they called just a little while ago. So we ran down, and it's just right down the road from where we live. So we got him, but it's a $6 charge, a fee
to use your debit card. But if you pay cash, it's not.
$6.
They have to pay fees, so they're putting it on the customer to pay the fees.
All right. So what kind of fee does Walmart have?
I guess they don't.
So you're telling me they don't have the same fee?
They're a big chain store.
Oh, so that makes it different. So they get less, they don't have to. But there's more transactions, so shouldn't they be charged?
No, they get the fees, I'm sure.
Exactly, but it's slower. But they have more, there's more transactions. Yeah. So
when we had the store, did we get fees? We did, didn't we?
Yeah, but it was nothing.
Yeah, it really wasn't anything.
No.
But that was also 10
But we also had that system. We had called telecheck, where it was back when you actually could run checks and you handed the check back to the person. That protected you. Mm-hmm. If telecheck if it wouldn't go through the system, then we wouldn't take the check. So it was kind of protecting us. But in the long run, you were still paying for that service.
Yeah.
But $6. So
$6 is a lot to me.
So you tell me this right here: if something happens to her business and she, just goes crazy, she's doing all kinds of business, right? Are her fees ever going to change? Is it going to start going down because she's doing more business?
No.
Is it going to go up because there's more transactions? Is the card company going to be like, well, we're charging you more now because you got more transactions we're having to process?
I don't know.
Exactly.
There's so many different things you get charged for.
$6 is too much for one transaction. You're telling me a $6 fee, I don't care how many hands it has to go through, whatever, to be processed. It don't. It's not going through hands to be processed. But see,
$6 is a lot.
It's like that fuel surcharge that they would put on a bill back when gas prices would go. A company, when they deliver, they put a $5 fuel surcharge. That's a crock too. All these fees will get you.
So Jody don't give a tip.
For what?
The groomer does not get a tip.
No, I don't give it. Well, if you want a tip, include it in your price, just like a hairstylist or anybody else. But they did do a good job. I mean, I have nothing against them. They do, but just don't expect a tip from me. No.
But that's your job, what you get paid for, right?
Right, yeah, that's what I'm saying, so it included. If I cut yards for a living and somebody calls me and says, hey, how much you cut my grass for? Well, I have to come check it out and see. And I come check it out, and I'm like, this is a small yard, and it's it's an old grandma, whatever. I'll do it for $50, which it should say be $100. So when she's going to pay me $50, am I going to keep my hand out and am I not going to get like a $5 tip? No, I'm not, because I told you what the price is going to be, right?
So what if she offers you that?
Well, if she offered me cookies, I'd take it. Well, if she offered, that's fine, whatever. But I'm not asking for it. I'm not putting a dotted line out there to where, hey, this is 50, but right below it, there's a space for a tip.
Make sure you see that line right there for the tip in there.
Yeah. And
I think $6 is too much.
But you thought we weren't going to have anything to talk about. That's what you thought about. $6 is too much.
I do think $6 is too much.
If she charges $25 for whatever, is it still a $6 fee? Or are we going by?
Because ours is always $50.
Yeah, so if it was $100, are we getting charged $12 a fee or $8? Is it going up a little bit or is it staying $6? Because I'm saying if I bought something for $10 from her and used the card, and is there going to be a $6 fee tacked on it? If I bought a leash or something.
Talking about using the card, I couldn't use the card for a $3 charge the other day.
Really?
Yeah. She said she didn't even run it. It wasn't that the card wouldn't go. That's not what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, don't say where you're at.
Oh, I'm not.
Okay.
She wouldn't even take it and run it because she said it won't run for that low of a transaction. I hardly ever carry cash. Jody, he's always got cash.
Well,
and he's been doing better. He'll say, here, you need to put this cash, keep it in your car in case you need it. And I usually do. And she's like, she looked at me. I'm like,
well, look, I think these systems are blocking it now because of, since there is a charge on
Maybe
say,
that's it. Maybe.
Well, it used to be like no purchase, it can't be under $5
Yeah.
with your card
Why don't
because
they
of
have
the
a
fee.
sign that says that?
Yeah, because of your fee.
Right.
So I think what they're doing now is they're just kind of blocking that in these systems to where you can't use your card because of the fee on it.
Well,
so.
you need to have a note up there because I don't carry cash.
Yeah. Right.
I dug it out. I mean, she
luckily
might have got almost $3 in change.
So you might have been a little short.
Maybe. But yeah, so you can't use your debit card. They don't even try it. I guess it's been done enough. They know it won't. But I know I've done it there before because I never have cash.
At some point, though, it's going to be cashless society, and you're going to have to use that card. So they're going to do away with all these, trades and all this stuff behind the scenes. Like if you want to say, I'm going to sell this, for whatever. It's got to be involved in the system.
Right.
Anything you do is going to have to be involved in the system.
Right.
Yeah. But you're talking about the card. I've got an interesting story that happened this week. Happened a couple of evenings ago. Was this, are we going to say like 9 o'clock at night? Wasn't it something like that?
It was after 8.
Yeah.
I was doing a live.
I think it was close to 9.
It might have been close to 9.
Because I was getting close to going to bed. Well, we have cameras on our house, so we get a notification. Like it's got sensors, so if something sets it off, we get a notification. So it went off, and I'm like, why is that going off this time?
And a lot of times we have a dog that roams around out there.
So we're just thinking it's
a neighbor dog, not our dog.
Yeah. Besides that, it's like we don't have any visitors. We
never have any visitors.
Nicholas has got a buddy that comes over. He used to come over all the time, but of course, as they've gotten older and they go to college and that kind of stuff, he came over at the Super Bowl, and that was the last, time he's come over. So we're never expecting anybody or anything like that. But we got the notification on the phone. But besides that, Nicholas comes walking down the hallway and says, "Who's here?" And so I get up out of the recliner because I was close to going to bed anyway. So I'm sleepy, and because he said headlights came across his bedroom window. Went out, went to the door, opened up the door, and the guy's walking across to the door. Tells me who he is. We shake hands. I tell him who I am. He says, I'm trying to remember how the conversation goes, but he's got something in his hand, and he says, "Are you missing something?" And when I look down, it's my debit card. Same color, it's my debit card. And I look, and it's got my name, and I was like, nah. I said, no, I used it today or something. Anyway, the conversation went into when was the last time I used all this kind of stuff. He said, I looked you up on Facebook. He said, I sent you a message. And I told him, I said, well, I don't ever get on Facebook, very seldom. I couldn't tell you last time I've got on there. Probably last time I posted something, it's been a couple months. And then he says, so Dusty. And I'm, look, I am sleepy anyway, and I've got this stranger at the house, and now he's throwing questions at me, and I'm like, I don't know what he's talking about. Just out of the blue, Dusty. I'm like, who? And he says, Dusty. And then he said again, on Facebook, I saw where you... I said, oh, Dusty Slay. So he had saw where we had ran into Dusty Slay at the world's largest yard sale up in Mentone, just out of the blue. And I was like, yeah. So I had to tell him that story right there. But then anyway, got back to the card, and he said, so you're not losing your card? I said, no. I said, I used it today. I said, I did lose a card... a long time ago. I said months ago, 6 months ago, something like that. And he said, did you have it, what did you do, turn it off? Is that what you did?
We canceled it.
Canceled it, yeah. I said, yeah. And I just can't figure out all this kind of stuff. And so anyway, he just starts talking about Dusty, real nice guy, starts talking about Dusty Slay. And we're talking about all this and everything like that. And then bam, it hit me. I said, hold up. I said, this is so strange. I said, on the day, it was a Saturday, I said, me and my wife went up to Mentone. Well, we did this yard sale, went up there. I said, there was a guy up there that I recognized, I thought. And I thought it was Dusty Slay. Couldn't figure out if that was him or not. I looked up a picture of him and showed my wife. And she says, I ain't got a clue, because she didn't know who he was. And I'm like, this has got to be him. And then I heard him talk, and I'm like, that is him. And I'm like 10 feet from him as I'm having this conversation with Amanda, up in Mentone. Not talking to the guy. I'm telling the guy this story, but then I get a phone call, and it's our son, Nicholas. And so I walk away. I'm like, I'm about to miss an opportunity to, meet this guy. But I walk off, answer the phone, like, yeah, what you need, What I done was, when we left for Mentone, I told Nicholas that, hey, I need the oil change in my truck. It's got to be done today. I left him my card to have that done and all that stuff. He was calling. He got the oil change, and he was at the gas station next door. He'd lost my card. Could not find it. Walked back in the store, asked at the register. They didn't find it. He looked on, and so here I am. I'm like, look in the truck, look on this, and he said, I have. And I said, well, just keep looking. I got to go. My concern was not about the lost card at the time.
Not losing our money.
No, it was about not losing Dusty Slay. I could not let him walk off without making sure, it was, him. And but anyway, so that was it. So the day that we met Dusty Slay, the day Nicholas lost the card, they found it on the ground, not even, maybe a mile. It's not a mile. Downtown.
Yeah, probably not a mile.
Yeah, half a mile, maybe, not even half a mile. But they're cyclists. They ride in the evening times, and apparently a buddy of his found it. They were together. And
I still don't know if I believe it.
I know this is strange, but he looked at it. He got my address, and he brought it all the way out there. Long story short, I told him
at 9:00 at night, you're bringing this to a stranger's house. You're bringing a card to a stranger's house at 9:00 at night.
I'm gonna say the goodness out of this person. I appreciated it. What if it's a card that you really needed and didn't realize, and before he, in case before they cancel it, they might not even know it's lost. Or, hey, before they cancel it, if we can get it. I mean, I just think some people are like that. So.
I'm not going to somebody's house.
Oh, yeah. To me, if I'd have found it, I'd have just
I'd have probably shredded it, because I know more than likely they're canceling it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to somebody's house.
Well, you being a female also.
Well.
That makes the difference.
Well.
Not at night. But I would probably.
But if I was at home by myself and a man came to my house like that.
Oh, you're not going to answer the door. I get all that. I understand. But I even offered him $20. I said, because he drove 20 minutes out here. And I was like, let me give you $20 for gas or whatever. No. I said, because the thing was, the card meant nothing to me anymore.
Right.
And now it's even more of a mystery, because how did that card get down there? And so I really think somebody might have stole it out of the truck, possibly. I think when he went inside to get a drink, he left the window down in my truck. He said that he knows he thinks he left the card on the seat or on the console right there, which that's the mistake there. So
this is the second time he's been told to put a card up, and he's lost the card.
Yeah.
The second time.
And so I'm thinking, he thinks somebody peered in there, saw it, and grabbed it. But I still don't know why you would have dropped it half a mile down. I don't know. I have no idea. Did it end up on the ground somehow in the rainwater? It made its way down a road, through a gully, next to a police department, and a cyclist found it.
I don't know.
6 months later. I have no idea. I don't know. That's strange. But hey, I appreciate it. If he's listening, I appreciate it. I know your name, but I'm not going to put it out there.
Oh, yeah, don't do that.
No.
But I don't know. I just find it weird that you go to somebody's house.
But look, I was so confused because the story was jumping.
At 9:00.
Yeah, it was jumping because, like I said, I was getting ready to go to bed, and then.
And I just hear people out there talking, and I'm back there doing a TikTok live, and I got no clue what's going on. I'm texting Jody, hey, is somebody here?
I know.
What is going on?
When I walk back in, the man is like, I've been texting you. I'm like, well, that's nice because I don't have my phone. It's in the house. I mean, But the whole time I was talking to him, I thought, because it looked like the vehicle that lives down the road, I thought it was our neighbor that lived, say 10 houses down. There's a vehicle just like it. He kind of looked like him. So I was putting that connection. So I was like, that's weird how he has this card. We kind of live together. That was in my mind. But then come to find out, no, he knows nothing of the area, or this road and all this kind of stuff.
That's another reason I ain't going at 9 o'clock at night.
I know. And we have it's kind of hard to find our house.
Exactly. Nobody can find our house, and he found it.
I know.
Our house, if you put it in what was it called, maps or whatever,
anything, yeah.
It's
called the internet.
Yeah, it puts you 3 houses before our house.
Oh yeah, and then when you think that you've come to our driveway, it's actually a neighbor's driveway.
Yeah,
so it's very
It's
strange.
the same thing with Life 360 when Nicholas gets home. It says Nicholas is home 2 houses before he gets home.
It's strange because then when our neighbor has company, they park in our driveway.
Thinking it's his.
Yeah, and then people that try and come to our house can't find our house or our driveway. It's jacked up.
It's crazy.
Let this be a lesson to everybody out there. They can find you. Whoever wants to find you.
Yeah.
That person that had a thing against you in high school, that something has happened and has rekindled that meanness in their heart.
Lord.
And they're looking you up. They can find you.
Dark.
Well, I'm just saying, after this, I'm like, you went to...
Yeah.
Look, the thing, as far as I would have gone is, look, if you found me on Facebook, it still didn't really.
Yeah,
I mean, the name matched.
I
Look,
would've
the
done
name
it
on the
Facebook,
card.
and I wouldn't have done.
Look, it's a business name that's on the card, and then my name. You look my name up on Facebook, it comes up. You still don't know if that's the right person or not, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would have sent a Facebook message, and then
I'm not taking
that's
your
it.
card.
I'm holding on to your card, and then 3 days later, when you finally get, in contact with me, we have the discussion over, back and forth, and then I find out that you'd already canceled the card since you didn't know that I had it, and I was like, well, I'm sorry, I'll throw it away, blah, 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 in a discussion. I just thought it was a nice thing for him to do. But I never expected that. And it took me a 10-minute conversation for it to finally, it was just so funny how he mentioned Dusty, seeing the picture of me and Dusty Slay, and it all revolved back to that was the day that the card was lost.
So that was in September.
How funny.
Because that's when the longest yard sale is.
Yeah.
Or August. Hold up. No,
I think
September.
September, yeah. That's why I said 6 months, so more than that.
That's crazy.
How about that?
That's our crazy story.
Shout out to Dusty Slay. That's a story. I should send that to him. I feel like I know him. I have
no clue who he is.
I listened to his podcast today. And I feel like I could shoot him an email about this, and he would actually talk about it. I guarantee he'd talk about it.
You got a man crush.
I wouldn't say that. No, I don't. I think he's the type that's he kind of sees things the way I do, or I see things the way he does. But we're not compatible. How about that?
He's not your best friend, okay?
No.
He's your man crush.
I wouldn't even say that. He's not a man crush.
Okay.
Why do you think that?
Listen at you. If you could have seen your face when you saw him and thought that was him.
Because I couldn't believe.
I was trying to show you Lincoln, President Lincoln.
Amanda was so dead set on showing me something at the yard sale.
Because he likes this old stuff. And
I wasn't giving you the time of day.
No, I was so
I had to figure out.
pissed at you.
When you see some, yeah, thanks. Once again, I had to beep you. Unless you give me permission to let it go. When you see people on TV and then you see them in real life, you have this image like, oh, they're not that as tall as I thought. Oh, they're taller than they are. Oh, they're not as big as they are. Oh, they're bigger than, that kind of thing. Well, that's the way it was with him. I was like, oh, he's not tall at all. I thought he was tall. He's slimmer than I thought. But then when I heard his voice, I was like, I know that's him. But trying to convince you, that was the problem. Trying to show you a picture. And you're like,
I had no clue. I wanted you to pay attention to me because I found something that was cool and I knew you would like it.
I know, but then I was in the whole thing of like.
You was in your man crush.
No, I was like, now I don't want to his family's with him. I don't want to interrupt the family thing. And
his little girl
and
wanted
his
in
little
the
girl,
picture.
yeah, she got in the picture and all that.
But I cut her out when I took your picture.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't want to, do anything,
Yeah.
privacy-wise. But he didn't care. He said, no.
Oh, yeah,
He said, oh, she's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
I should have got an autograph. See, I didn't think about anything like that.
Because you were man crushing.
Yeah, I guess so.
How many thinks he was man crushing?
Yeah.
Send me a message. Let me know.
Hey, besides that, send us a text. Go to the description. Right above it, it says send us a text. Hit that. It goes straight to your text messages. Send it to us, and we'll get it. Tell us what your gas price is and where you're listening from, because I'm interested to know how much you're paying for gas. Saturday, I had to fill up my truck. I filled up 2 gas cans for lawnmowers and then 1 weed eater gas can and spent $86. And I was like, yow.
I've never seen the gas bill that much.
Just as long as it don't go any higher.
Oh, Lord. If it goes any higher.
But right now is the time that if you use
But that's your job, so I mean.
I know. But if you not cutting grass, that's not my job.
Oh, no, not cutting grass. I mean, driving
I
is your
use a
job.
lot.
Like, you're all over the place.
Well,
so
not driving ain't my job either, but I have to go a lot of places.
driving is part of your job.
Well, driving's part of everybody's job. You got to drive to get to work.
Well.
But my point is you want to be a part of a point system for any of these gas stations or anything like that right now.
Yeah.
Because it definitely adds up. So I used
my
Murphy.
points, didn't you?
I did use your. See, I used your points. It was 25 cents off a gallon.
That's right. So it would have
right.
been more than that.
And so I paid $86, and there's no telling. I'd have cranked it on past 90 if it wasn't for those 25 cents. Yeah. But I used Murphy, and you end up after so many points, you get 10 cents off a gallon, up to 20 gallons. And if you don't use it, it accumulates, and then you'll get 20 cents off it. I mean, it can go on I let it go up. I think I let it get to 70 cents one time a gallon. So
yeah, I think
that felt pretty good. But it don't matter. It's no different than doing it when it's a dime.
Yeah.
Taking a dime off.
But it feels better.
It does. It does.
When you think about
Yeah,
it,
because
better.
when you do put it in there, and then you see that dollar amount per gallon go down, it's like,
yeah.
You want to tell people. You want them to see.
Get your rewards.
You want them to be like,
Get
hey,
your rewards.
how come your gas is so cheap? Well, it's these rewards.
All right.
How long we done this? How long has it been 30 minutes?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
See, we had like 5 or 6 things to talk about. Then you got me on the gas thing, and that revolved around the car. It's funny you said that about the card, and then that revolved around what happened. Oh, one other thing that happened to me this week.
Oh yeah, that never happens.
Never. This is a first. I might have been late for work or late getting up by 20 or 30 minutes or whatever, but nothing like this. So Amanda has what's the little smelly thing you have in the hall?
Pura.
Pura?
Yeah, Pura, I think.
All right. So when it kicks on, it's ran through your app. So you set the times you want it to kick on.
And I've got it set where the light comes on, so you'll have light when you get up at like 3 o'clock. I think I've got it set at like 3 o'clock.
Yeah, like 3 to 4.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So my alarm normally is set for 3:30. So when it goes off, there's light I can see if I get up. There's enough light coming from the hallway that I can roam around and be fine. And I use my flashlight on my phone all the time, by the way. Do you use your flashlight on the phone?
I do.
Yeah, especially in the mornings.
Yeah.
I have to help Coco with her blind eyes to help her get here and there.
Okay.
So I woke up and the light wasn't on. And so I'm thinking, man, I feel like I've been in the bed for a long time because my back is killing me. And usually when my back's killing me, I've been in the bed for like 6 hours or longer. But I'm like, I guess I've just woken up like 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning, whatever. I just woke up early, but I feel like I need to get up. But I do, I make a mistake. I don't roll over and look at my phone to see what time it is. I'm just assuming that it's too early to get up. So I'm going to
Because you didn't say that light in the hall.
That's right. Yeah. Did I not say that?
I don't remember.
I thought I did, but maybe I didn't. Yeah, the light was not on.
Yeah.
So I thought it was early. So I'm going to fall back to sleep. So I fell back to sleep. I don't know if I fell back to sleep for 5 minutes or an hour. But I woke back up, and that light is still not on. And my back is like killing me. I'm like, I've got to check and see what time it is. And I roll over, and it is 5:30. I'd slept 2 hours over past what time I get up. 5:30.
You needed it. That was
And
your
I
body telling you.
did not jump up out of bed, but I got out quick as I could.
It was your body telling you needed
Man.
to rest.
But
Your
that-
back might not have, but your body must have needed
Well,
it.
my mind should have told me what it was telling. Well, it told me. I just wasn't listening to it. To roll over and look at, see what time it is the first time. Because I knew something
Did
was
it
up.
hurt you being that far behind at work?
Somehow I caught up. Don't ask me how, but I pretty much caught up on the day, even though I was 2 hours behind. I don't know. Don't ask me. It's weird.
Well, that's the first. So
Yeah, I don't, but it was the perfect day to happen on. It was on a Wednesday when that happened, and that's a day that I don't go out of town,
bad.
so I'm not like timed to get certain places. So that was.
I know you got up late. I just thought.
It hurts.
I just thought, well, he must not have. There must be a stop or something he don't have to do. And
Look, I looked at my alarm, and my alarm was turned off, but I know it turned it on. I mean, it was on when I never forget to, because I distinctly remember turning it on, and I always slide it further on the nightstand so that I just can't reach over and like turn it off when the alarm goes off. So
Yeah.
this won't happen. So I'll make it a point that I have to go reach a little bit further, but I don't remember turning it off or nothing, but I did. But that is a bad feeling, let me tell you, when you do realize that you're like way behind. Good thing I don't have an important job. I'd have been in trouble. Good thing I didn't have people depending on me.
Now that's a better statement.
Yeah, I don't have nobody depending on me. All right, is that it?
That's all I got.
We still got several things on our list, but we'll save it for another day.
Maybe we'll do something exciting this weekend and have something to talk about.
Maybe so. We got the warning today that, hey, don't put a fire outside.
Oh yeah,
because if you do, you're gonna get in trouble.
Putting a fire.
Yeah,
You're not
I could tell
making a
that story. Maybe I wanted to have a fire in the fire pit tomorrow night on Friday night.
Sorry, you can't.
I can't now. If I do, neighbor will call in on
No
me.
roasting hot doggies.
Fire department will show up.
Yep.
Cops will show up.
Even though he goes to our church now.
Which one? Fire department or the cop? Cops.
Both. We got both. We got both at the church.
We had volunteers and cops that night. So
Yeah.
you're just saying one person goes to our church now.
Well. All right. Maybe he'll tell that story one day.
I don't know. We've I don't know. We've teed it up a couple of times, and I'm not willing to pull the trigger yet. So
All right.
Winston's hungry. We left the door open to our podcasting room. It's creeped open, and he has just like got his head around the corner. That would be a cool picture if you took it and posted it.
All right.
So I think Amanda's ready to go.
I'm ready. Let's go. All right. See
All right,
ya.
thanks for listening. Y'all have a good week and a wonderful weekend. Thanks for listening, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Peace.